Every single business needs system reviews to find out if they're working or not, right? But if the reviews that you're doing are stalling momentum or they're causing your team to feel a little bit resistant to it, or they just get skipped entirely because you don't want to spend the time doing it, you're doing them wrong. So in this video, I'll show you how to refine your processes without slowing your team down. There's no bottlenecks, no burnout, just systems that actually improve while your business keeps moving forward, which is what you want. So stick with me because your next review cycle, whether it's every week or every month or every quarter, whatever it is, could unlock your next level. I'm Brett from brettcpayne.com, and I help founders and CEOs build businesses and grow their businesses that scale without having to become full-time operators. My message to business owners is not do more, not hustle more. It's none of that kind of thing. I want to help them scale without having to get in the weeds of everything and really to pull back so that they can step away from their business for a week or a month or 2 months if they want to, and everything will continue to grow and thrive. And today we're tackling a sneaky growth killer, messy reactive system reviews that burn time and kill momentum. We hate them. So let's fix that. I want to give you a couple moves to fix it. Move number one is shift from reactive to rhythmic. If you only review your systems when things break, it's too late. You have to do it in a pattern, okay? So you can set this kind of cadence, this review cadence that prevents the fires before they start because you're doing them on a regular basis. So I like quarterly. It's kind of my go-to to how to do this, like, once every 3 months. It's frequent enough to catch the friction without pulling the focus of my team away from the work. So I do like that kind of 90-day thing. Think of it kind of like brushing your business's teeth. That's kind of what it is. If you skip it for too long, everything's going to get more difficult and more painful. Let me give you move number two, which is capture clarity mid-sprint. You don't need to stop everything to improve your systems. You can use Loom and voice memos or even some quick Slack notes and messages when friction shows up, right? But you capture it in the moments and then you revisit it during review weeks. So you keep track of these kinds of things. Keep a quick, simple list, right? You don't need perfect memory. You need a habit of noticing breakdowns and bottlenecks as they happen. A lot of those you can fix them right then and there. I do a lot of that myself, but there are bigger ones that I keep track on a list so that when we come together at our 90-day review as a team, I can say, look, this is a big thing here. Let's address this because we're reviewing this system and this structure, and it's not helping us to grow as fast as we want to go. By the way, if you're building a business that doesn't need your attention 24/7, hit that subscribe button because this channel is really built to help you scale without the stress. We don't want you to have to focus on this thing every minute of every day. There's a way to do it that's better and more healthy for you and your family. Move number three, focus where the friction lives. Don't try to fix everything. It's overwhelming. Don't try to do that. In each of the review cycles that we have, we try to pick one or two places where the breakdowns are actually happening. They're costing us time or money or morale, and you do the same thing in your business, right? Just a couple of the big things. Maybe it's the onboarding process. It could be that. Maybe it's customer acquisition, like how you're marketing and getting people to kind of come on with you. All kinds of ways to do that, right? Maybe it's how you're running your meetings. Have you ever heard of that book called Death by Meeting? One of my favorites. You should go check it out. Maybe it's your sales handoff, how you do that sales process. Just start there. Like find one or two of these things. Don't try to solve everything. You don't need to have a meeting that has, 50 different topics. Just one or two. Sort them out. Okay, start there. So let me ask you, what's one system that you know right now needs an update, but you've been avoiding it? You know why we avoid these things? We avoid them because they're painful to think about. But what is one system with you right now? It needs an update, but you haven't been taking care of it. Will you do me a favor and drop it in the comments? I'd love to see what this is. And maybe we can tackle this hard stuff together. I'll jump in the comments with you and we can go back and forth and see if there's something that will move the needle for you. And I guarantee there is. Move number 4. Systemize the cleanup, not the chaos. Make process improvement part of your culture. It's not a side project. It's not an extra thing that we do on the weekends or at the end of the week when there's no energy. You want the cleanup to be systemized, that people are constantly thinking about how do we improve it? How do we keep the engine going faster and faster? So there's a great movie that came out. I don't know if you saw it. It's called F1, and it's about Formula One racing, right? And the most amazing thing about this movie, whether you like racing or cars or any of that or not, is the constant improvements they are making. They build these incredibly expensive cars with these crazy things, but every single component on those vehicles, they are working on nonstop with these engineers to improve them on an ongoing basis. We have to kind of address our businesses like that, don't we? Like, we have these businesses that fund not just our own lives, because the family business exists for the family. Don't ever forget that. But they also take care of other people's families, right? They're paying taxes, and you're helping them buy food and pay their mortgage or pay their rent or whatever the thing. And so you've constantly got to improve your business so that it's getting better and better all the time. Make that part of your culture. Every time somebody asks you, how do we do that again? That's your cue. That means they don't know how to do it. Improve it, record it, clarify it, systemize it. Very, very simple. This doesn't need to slow anything down. Okay. You don't need to stop what you're doing, and the team's not going to get slower. It just saves them from future confusion. So you have to look at it as an investment in the future. You do these things once to improve a system, and you will not have to do it again. Move number 5, review in rhythm with the business. The best system reviews are not done on random Tuesdays. You align them with the business shifts like this. You do a new hire, you review the system. Is there anything different I could have done there? It could be after you launch a service or a product, you reflect on that. Is there something we could have done differently in how we launched that service, that product? Was it in the marketing? Was it in understanding who our customers were? It could be end of season cycles. If your business is cyclical in some way, maybe it is. If you're in retail, obviously you can look at like the mid-November to end December, when the majority of your revenue may come in, depending on the area of retail that you are in. You can look at that in January and go, what did that really look like for us? And franchising, which is the business that I've spent a lot of time in, we generally do that in January, kind of end of December and January. How did the previous quarter look, or how did the previous half year look? Why is that? It's because a lot of people don't make huge decisions when the holidays are going on, right? So we can look at that then and kind of address it. So there are these kind of seasonal things when you can do that. Why would you do that? It's because pressure will show you in your systems where there are gaps. And so during these launches or an onboarding or a release of a new system or structure, or maybe it's that retail crunch, it's going to show you during that time of pressure where there are problems in your systems. That's why you want to review them, okay? So review when the gaps are fresh and they're visible. And if you need a central place to organize all these systems, go watch my video, How to Organize Your Entire Business Without Being Overwhelmed. It's going to show you exactly how to structure and store everything that your team needs. And I put the link in the description for you so you can get to it quickly. That is your next go-to on this path to growing your business, scaling it without being stressed out of your mind, all right? You can refine your systems really without slowing your team down. It's very simple. It just takes a little bit of rhythm, real-time capture, and clarity about what matters most. Figure out what those things are and then address them. But to make this really work, you need structure behind the scenes. You got to get that structure in place. So again, go watch my video, How to Organize Your Entire Business Without Being Overwhelmed. It's the level deeper that makes everything we talked about today actually stick. You've got to have that next video to explain this a little bit more. Don't let disorganization keep slowing down your momentum, okay? Because that disorganization will pile on top of one another. And before you know it, months and years or a decade's going to go by, and it's just going to be piles of this mess instead of really getting it cleaned up, organized, addressing it. I know it's a little painful, but doing it now, because if you can do it now, then you can build something smoother for your life, for your business, and we can do that together.